Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think so. We have to take this second session in a recorded manner because of cyclone issue over in my area. We can continue forward from where we left yesterday. And as per I remember, yesterday we were actually working with the theoretical part. So today I told you that we will be moving forward to the practical part where we are going to actually build a one application, or else actually we are going to build one API. So what exactly are we going to start with? So we will be starting with ExpressJS first of all to understand what is Express. So you would be knowing about Node, but we also use Express in like along with Node. So we'll kind of understand basic of Express and then we'll move forward with our API creation, where I will tell you how basically we create a server first of all, and then one sample API is what we are going to create. So, welcome back on the day two. And again, really sorry for the interruption on the day two that happened yesterday because of the issue. And yeah, we are planning to go in this manner so that the sessions should not stop because of some natural issues. Okay. So, ExpressJS, what exactly is ExpressJS? So, we call it as a lightweight Node.js framework. Okay. It's a Node.js framework. It's nothing separated from Node.js. So, it's just a Node.js framework. So, it's lightweight Node.js framework that we use in creation of servers. That we use in creation of servers. Okay, so that's what ExpressJS is. We do not have anything else. ExpressJS it's a Node.js framework that is used for creation of server. And in the server, you know what all requests we are going to make. We will be using post request first of all. Post will be the first one. Then we will be having a get. We will be having a put. We will be having a patch along with delete. So these all are the potential requests that we are going to make by using Express.js. Okay, and along with this, we also are going to use body parser, that is a middleware to handle whatever JSON file we receive. So that will also be our part. So if now the practical part, I will be working, I will be writing all the codes on Code Sandbox. But if you are on your local system and if you want to go forward with your local system, no problem, you are free to do that. And if you are on a local system, so in that case, you have to first of all do npm init y, or else just npm init will also work. So initializing npm is the first part, and then you have to do npm install express. So this command is only for the users who are working on their local system, like VS Code or something else. But if you are going forward with me and if you're using Code Sandbox, over there you would not require this all things. Okay. Okay, so great. So this was just a very little intro, and let's move directly to my Code Sandbox, and I want to focus up on there. So over there in Code Sandbox, I want to create my new project, and the new project will be HTTP Express server. So Node HTTP server is what I want to create in this case. We do not have anything separate known as Express servers. We will be installing Express as a module in our Node.js itself, and we will be using that. Okay, so let's go forward and click over it, and let's name it up. So I will name it as API Bootcamp. And now, if you want to create it, like you want to keep it as a public, you can. It's your choice. But I am thinking of okay. So I will also need it as a public because I need to share it with you. So I will keep it public. So if you want, you can go with the private also. So I will click on Create Dev Box, and it will take some amount of time for me to get installed. Okay, so once it gets installed, the first part or the first task that we have is we have to install our Express. So we'll install Express and we'll see how we can go forward with that. So my workspace is built, and let's see, let it load. Okay, so it's completed. So right now, this is my README, and inside my node modules, I have index.js. So I will be writing all the codes over here itself. And right now it's HTTP server. So the first part that we are going to look into is creation of server. Okay. So that is the first part that we will be looking into how we can exactly create server using ExpressJS. Once we are done with the servers, then we will move forward with creating one API in which I will add some of the post, get, and I think so it will also be having delete. So we'll complete these three part today and remaining tomorrow along with the deployment part tomorrow. So let's go forward in this, and let's first of all install my Express. So over on the left hand side on the bottom, you will be seeing a dependency option. So over there, you have to search for Express. So then you will be getting an option. You have to click on Express and it will install your Express by default. Now again, if you are on a local system, for the similar task, you have to do npm i express or else npm install express. Okay, so the installation part is done. So now I will remove this old HTTP code. So let's begin with the server creation part. And let me first of all tell you, the server will be listening at port number 3000. That's the port that I've decided. If you want to go forward with 8080 or some other ports, you are free to go. Okay, we do not have any constraint regarding that. Next thing, we'll add just a single route to check if my API is working or not. Okay, that will be the single thing that we are going to add. So let's begin. First thing is const express is equals to require, and I will be importing the express over here. Okay, that's the first part. Then I will be defining my app. So const app is equals to, and then I will embed my express inside this application. Now, app is the keyword that I'm going to use everywhere from now. Okay, so app dot use, and it will be express.json. I'm telling my express server that whatever data transfer is going to take in this case, it will be in JSON formats. Okay, so that's why I'm using express.json in this case. Okay, now the first route that I would need is app.get. If I get a request, now I told you that we in servers we work with request response format. We get a request for a certain item and then we send a response for that particular item. That's how we work in this case. So now request is made on what point? You have URLs, you have endpoints where you make request. So in this case, in case of localhost, if I'm talking about localhost, so localhost 3000 will be the request URL. And along with that, we have different routes for that. So while we are working with code sandbox, so it will be a default URL given by code sandbox. So suppose if I'm getting this request, that is the main default URL. If I'm getting request on that URL, then what should I serve in that case? Okay. So request comma response, this will be the structure. Remember, server always work on request response model. No response is given until a particular request is received. Okay. So if I get this request, I am going to send a message. Welcome to the API Bootcamp. Okay, this will be the response that I'm going to send that will get shown on the screen. Now I have made it up. I have like I included Express. I defined my app. I have called my express.json. I have created a get request too. Okay, get API. So now the next part is I have to create a port so that my server could listen. Okay, so const port. So I will define a port number. So I'm defining it as a 3000. If you want to go forward with 8080 or something else, you are free to go with that. So app dot listen. So first part that I will be passing it in the argument is the port number that I am using. Okay. So remember, whenever we are on a local system, we will be having a port numbers. Once you deploy your backend application, then things are different. But one time when you are on a local system, you have to go for with the port numbers. Okay. Okay, so arrow function will be defined, and if this gets executed successfully, or else if this code runs successfully and my server opens this port up for listening, in that case, I have to give a console log, just a small console log, telling myself that the server is running successfully. Okay, server is running on port 3000. Okay, that will be my response. So let's save this code and let's see the output. Yeah, I am getting output that server is running on port 3000. It means now once you get this output, server is running on port 3000, there are two things. One is you have not made any syntax mistakes. Another one is that your code is right. Okay, so same meaning. If your code is right, only then you are going to receive this output. Okay, so your port gets opened up only after everything written by you is correct. Okay, so let's see if we get any response on the window. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's move to another window and let's try getting up on this. Just give me a moment and let's test it out. Okay, so it will take time. So yes, proceed to preview. Bad gateway. Okay, it's not permitting me to go from here. No problem. I will look it up from there. Okay. Okay. So I think so you would have understood how we are creating the server. So even if we do not get an output, it does not concern us. So I will add this code up to this part in the notes so that when you come back to this note, you can get the code. Okay. Okay. So this was the first part that is server creation. Okay, so I will also add heading for you. That is server creation. Okay, great. Now, what is the next part in this case? Okay, so I created a server, and now what should be the next part? What now? The next part should be creating an API with this server. Okay, so I have to create a particular API with the server and I have to check. Uh, the testing part will not be done today. Obviously, I will first of all deploy this application and then only I'm going to test it out. So whatever things we are doing, remember we will not be getting output right now. Okay, because this is a backend part and we are working on code sandbox. So whatever output I will be showing you, whatever testing I will be showing you, that will be after deployment. Okay. So let's again remove this code and let's again go forward with the next part, that is my API creation. So first of all, let's break down what all features am I going to add to my API. Okay, API creation is the second part. So the first thing that I will be adding, so I am kind of creating a Notes API. Okay, Notes API. The first thing is the on the first part prerequisitely, I'm not connecting any database, so I will keep it simple. For tomorrow session, we'll connect the database, we'll replace the old code. But for now, we are not connecting any DB in this case. What we are actually doing is we are creating an object, creating an object. I hope so. You know what object is in the code itself. So object will be created and we'll add some dummy data over there in the object. We'll try retrieving it up. So the first part will be a get endpoint. Okay. So the first part will be the get endpoint and get endpoint will fetch all the nodes. That is the first endpoint. And after get endpoint, the second one that I will be making is post. So post will be for adding all the nodes. Okay. Create all the nodes. That will be the second. And after this, the third one that I will be having is put. So for put, we need to update things up. So update notes will be the second part. And after put, I will have a delete option. Okay, I'm not adding any patch right now. We'll see if we get any scope to add patch. So we'll add it up. For now, we are skipping that up. Okay, delete nodes. So these are all the APIs requests that I want to create. So whenever I get these all requests, I want to serve a particular response for that case. As you know, we are working with not a DB, not with a DB. So we will not be actually creating any schema or model. That will be done tomorrow. Obviously, we are going to create that up. But for now, we will be working with the dummy data. Okay. So let's continue forward and let's try writing that code. But before, let me see if I got something out from here. Okay, the problem is the preview is on 8080 and I'm making a request on 300. Okay, so the channel was open at 300 and reviews, yeah, now I'm getting the welcome to API Bootcamp. Okay, I'm getting the output now. Yeah, so what issue was the Code Sandbox works on a preview of 8080 and I opened my channel on 3000. So 3000 and 80 obviously they are the two different numbers. So obviously that is why it was not working. So now it signifies that I have created my server correctly. I do not have any mistake in my server, and I can continue forward from here. So what all continuations do I need to do in this case? So again, I do not have any extra installation part. I will be using Express and similar thing. So this part remains same. No need to install any other dependency. So Express is there, app is there, and app.use express.json is there. Now I will remove this part. Okay. So server is already there. 8080 is already kept there, and I do not want to play with that. We'll keep it as it is right now. And let me just change some things over here. 8080. Okay, so the first part that we now need is creation of an object. So we need to first of all create an object that will hold the data because we are not yet connecting database. So to hold my data, we need an object to be created. So let nodes is equals to, okay, so now what will be the structure of each object? So first thing ID, so to identify the resource, then I will be having a title. So title learn Node.js, okay, and content, if you want to add some content, you can add that up to understanding uh, express server. I will add this as one more content. Now let's add another one. In this case, obviously, ID should be primary key. That is, each ID should be unique. So that's why I am keeping my IDs different. So title. So I will be adding factors REST API, and content will be kept as uh, use Postman to test your API. Okay, so this is my you can call it as tummy data for now. Let me expand my window size, okay, and let me also expand the size of the text that you are seeing so that it would be much more clearer when you see it up on the screen. Okay, it's better. Okay, so this is my object. Now I have created my object. So now the next thing remains is the get request that I want to create. So for the get request, I need to create a get endpoint from where I will be getting this as a response. So I will be doing app dot get. Remember the type of request that you're expecting, name should be that only, app dot get, app dot post, app dot put, app dot patch, app dot delete. Okay. So app dot get. So what should be the endpoint? Endpoint should be nodes, comma. Now two things, that is request and response. Every time we have to define this. This is an case. Now in this case, I need to return this whole nodes object that I have created in the form of JSON. Remember that the request response, whatever is happening, the response should be in the form of JSON only in this case. Okay, so right now it's not in JSON form of it's in object form, but it's not JSON form. Okay, so I will just be writing just.json and I will be sending it. Okay, so then done. Okay, first endpoint was just sending the object that I have created as it is to my user, and that's done. Okay, if you want to add some try catch block over here, you can add it up. So if you run into any errors while sending this request back, in that case you can use that. But right now I don't think so we are going to run into any error. Why? Because database is again not connected. There would not be any connection issue. Whatever data we have, everything is in my code itself. So I don't find any error getting formed. When we shift again to my database part, over there, I will be using the try catch block. Okay. So then I have app.post. Okay. App.post dash nodes. Now endpoint are same. Remember, for the two types of request, for the get request and the post request, I have kept my endpoint same. That is slash nodes. Okay, so this can work fine. Why? Because these are two different types of requests that I will be making. One is post, another one is get. Okay, so I do not have to actually worry about that. So app.post and nodes. So in this case I have to create new nodes. So const new nodes is equals to, so what all things do I need? I need ID. So ID, I need to be automatically generated. So I will first of all find the length of this object and I will do +1. So ID will be found with nodes dot length plus 1. Then after ID, what is the next thing? The next thing is title. So let's define a title. So now, uh, when I will be making a request for this case, I will be embedding the title along with this. Okay. So request dot body dot title. So title will be taken up from the body. Then I have content. Okay. So content will again be taken from request dot body dot content. Okay, so this is my new nodes that has been created. Now I just need to push this node to my already created object. Okay, so nodes dot push new node. Okay, so that will be done in this case. So I have pushed this node to my already created object, and things are not yet done. I have to tell my user that the nodes that you were trying to create has been successfully created. So for that case, I need to actually give him a response. Okay, so I will do res.status 201. We already discussed what 201 was. I will send a JSON response telling a message node has been added. Okay, what has been added. So that's the second part of my API. The third part is put. Okay, so I need to now do the put request. So app dot put, and the endpoint should be nodes dash. Now I have to take ID also along with in the endpoint. So to identify which resource I need to update, I need to take a ID now. Okay, so I will be taking ID along with my URL itself. Remember, I am taking the ID along with my URL itself. So it's not a query parameter. It's obviously not a query parameter. So we are embedding my ID itself directly inside the URL. A query parameter also gets inside the URL, but it's not a query parameter. Query parameter is defined when you want to filter out something. Okay, right now you are not filtering out something in response, but you are just finding something and updating it. So now this is the your job to find if it is not query parameter, then what exact word do we use for this case? When we embed some certain variable, let's suppose we have embedded ID inside the URL, then what do we exactly call it up? Okay, that's your task to find out. So next is request, comma, response. I made your job easier by telling you it's not a query parameter. Something similar to query parameter is what we call it. So first thing I need to search for, but before that, I need to take out the node ID from the URL. Okay, so I will call node ID is equals to parse int. Why are we calling parse int? Because the URL is in string form and I need a integer out of it. Okay, params dot ID. So first part is this, I'm taking out my ID. And now the second part is I need to search for the node with this particular ID. So nodes dot find. I told you yesterday when I was teaching you put that if this node does not exist, in that case, I cannot make any updation. So first of all, I have to check if node is already there or not. Okay. So I will make a comparison with my node ID. Okay. So then I will add a if condition. So if condition will be checking if node is already there or not. So I will add a not node, that is not node is not available. Then I need to return res dot status of 404 and a JSON response telling my user that node not available or node not found. Okay, so this will be the response that I will be giving. Now let's move. If my node is there, in that case, I need to completely update this up. So I will do my node dot title. First updation is of node dot title. So I will be taking it from body. Obviously, when I make a put request, I need to send updated title and content. Okay, so either of the one I need to send it up. So I will be taking it up from the request body. If it is not there, then I will just add the old data that I had. Okay, so request dot body dot title. Now this is for the case if the user has sent the new notes title. If the user has not sent the new notes title, in that case I will go forward with the old data itself. Then I have the second part, that is node content. So node content is equals to request dot body dot content. If content is not there, then I will just do node dot content. Okay. Yeah. So this is a part. Just send a response res.json telling the user that we have made changes. Message node updated successfully. Okay. So this was my put. Now the last part that I have in this case is now my delete. Okay. So again, delete is going to do things similarly. How similarly? I will get ID in my URL itself. I need to take out that ID. I need to first of all check if that ID is available or not. If that ID is available, then I have to do the remove operation from the object. Okay. So that is what I need to do. So let's go forward and let's define. So app dot delete dash notes dash again ID. Remember both the routes for put and delete. They both are similar, but as we are making two different requests, so this will not interfere with our process. Request comma response. Okay, great. So app dot delete slash nodes slash ID. Request comma response is the case. So the first thing that we have in this case is node ID is equals to again the same thing that is parse int. Okay, so in parse int, first of all, we will be taking out the request.params.id. Okay, so request.params.id is what we are taking out. Okay, now the next thing that we have in this case is again we will be taking out the index. So I'm going to now we did the search process differently in the put. We are doing it differently in the delete. We can do it similar, but yeah, I want to explore more options for this case. So I will be doing the find index option because I need to find the index of available thing. So now how will I identify if the item is not available? I will tell you. Just give me a brief moment. Okay. So note ID. Okay, so this is the case. Now, if my item is not available in my object, then it will return me an index of -1. Okay, so in objects, that is a rule in JavaScript. Whenever any item is not available and you try finding an index for that item, in that case, you get an index of -1. So the if condition that I will be making is on if my index is equal to triple equal to -1. Now this signifies that my item is not available. Okay, what this signifies that my item is not available. So return res.status 404, and I will be sending a JSON response telling my user that notes not found. Okay, now this is the first case. This is the edge case that I took care of. Now the second case, what should I do if I have my item available? If I have my item available, so I will do nodes.splice index comma 1. Okay, so nodes.splice index comma 1. So that is the first part. Now I will just send a response. So res.json and directly let's send a message telling the user item has been deleted successfully. Okay, that is the case. Okay, fine. And if you want, you can also add a default route to check if things are working or not. So if you can, you just add a app.get, similar thing that we did earlier. So request, comma, response, and I will send res.send. Welcome to API Bootcamp. Okay, fine. So now let's do our task and let's see. Let's save it up and let's see if things are working fine or not. Okay, so I have saved it up and I'm getting my output. Server is running on port 8000. It means I did not made any mistake. Okay, what it means, I did not made any mistake in this case. Whatever code has been written, everything is correct. Now I can check only one route right now, that is dash nodes slash nodes, and other things we need to be tested with Postman. So I will be testing it up later. So let's go with slash notes, and let's see the output in this case. Okay, so I'm getting my output, that is this one. Okay, I'm getting it up. So it means whatever things I have written, everything has been written correctly. If you want, let's do one thing. Let's try testing it up with Postman. Okay, I will not be able because I have written things on my code sandbox. So I need to first deploy it up, then only I can test it up. But we'll not deploy it up right now. We'll complete it together when we have added my backend part also. Then we can deploy it up. So right now, what we can see. So tomorrow we'll be adding a backend part, sorry, database part. So let's quickly see the database and how we can create cluster and all. Okay, so we are going to use MongoDB Atlas in that case. Okay, so go to MongoDB Atlas, and if you haven't signed up, so just sign it up over there. So I will just do my sign in work, okay, because I have already signed up on my MongoDB Atlas. So let's continue with the mail ID that I have. Please provide a valid email. Okay, let's go with the Google itself. I think so. That's not picking up the email ID. Okay, the email ID is written wrong. Yeah. Okay, so I'm in, and now remember we have to first of all do one thing, that is creating a cluster. Okay, so how database will be taking up your data? So we need to create a cluster, and inside cluster we will have a collection. Okay, so first thing you need to achieve is your cluster link. Okay, so cluster link, then we will embed dash, then your collection name. I will show you. You do not need to worry about that. Okay, so let me first of all terminate this particular cluster that I have. Why? Because I need to create a new cluster. So I will just click on, okay, let's go to over here, go inside your clusters. And remember, MongoDB Atlas gives you only one free clusters to be created. So if you have already created a cluster, try using that cluster because you will not have another option to create another free cluster. So I will first of all terminate this cluster. Okay, and once it's terminated, then I will be creating another cluster. Okay, okay, so cluster, I think so it's getting terminated. Just wait for some moments, it will get terminated. Okay, uh okay, I can go back to my database now. Project overview. Okay, now I do not see any cluster, so I will click on create cluster. The first thing that you need to do is click on create cluster. It will take you some time. You can just name it up, whatever you want to name it up right now. Okay, so I think so my old cluster is not yet deleted. Is it taking time for it? Deploying a changes current connection creating a plan. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, it's getting stuck. Okay, now it's deleted. So I will go and click on build a cluster, and I will get an option of a free plan. Okay, remember, no need to buy any paid plan in this case. So I am getting a free plan. By default, it is naming me as a cluster 0. So I will again go to my free plan. No need to go with any flex or M10, whatever possible. What we are going to use will work fine with the free plan. Okay, more than enough. So now you have to click on create deployment. Okay, click on create deployment, and if you want to change the region of AWS and whatever, you can, but I would like recommend you not to change anything, just keep it as it is. Now you need to achieve a connection string. So I will go forward with my compass. Okay, so I have my compass installed. I will go and tell it that yeah, I have my compass installed. So this is your connection string with for your cluster. Okay, you got this connection string for your cluster. So just copy it up and keep it up in your code itself at the bottom. So we will be using this for tomorrow's session, and I will comment this out. Okay, now one thing to take care of is over here you would be seeing something known as db underscore password. So every time you get on MongoDB Atlas as a user, a db password is created for you. Okay, so you have to find your DB password. So what DB password has been given to you by MongoDB, or else the DB password that you have created. So you have to add it up in this place. So how you will be getting a DB password? So if you remember that, it's great. If not, then you have to go over here. So replace DB password with your this, uh, and just go on a database access. Okay, click on database access. It will lead to the users that you have created. So right now I have just one user. What you need to do is if you do not remember the password, go into your edit option, and in your edit option, you will be getting the password. Okay, so you will be getting the option to edit your password. That's how you will be getting the DB password. So the password that you achieve from it there, you just need to replace it up over here. Okay, that is what you need to do in this case. Other than that, you do not need to do any of the work. Everything is fine other than that. So if you have created everything till cluster, if you have got your connection string, if you have replaced the password over there, then you are fine and well. You have done a great job till now. Okay. So one thing that I will complete before ending this session is, right now this is the connection string for your cluster. Inside cluster you have collections. Okay. Inside cluster you will have multiple collections. So now we are making a notes, or else we are making kind of to do. So now this notes should be inside a notes collection named as note. So for that, I will add just slash notes. Okay. What does it signifies? What does it signifies? That inside this cluster, cluster 0, there will be one collection that will be created named as notes. Okay. That is what it signifies. So till here you have connection string for cluster, and this is the name of the connection collection. Okay. Now, in a cluster, if a connection is not created, so by default, it will create a new collection. If a collection with that name is created, then it will start using that collection. Okay. So just keep these things into your mind, and I'm not keeping this lecture much longer. Just take up this course, practice this up, and yeah, that's what I will be telling you. We'll test it up when we complete this part totally by adding a database to this part. So after that, we will be testing each and every routes that we have created. So yeah, for now, I will keep things till here. I hope so. Everything would be clear. If you have any doubt, we'll resolve it in the last session. Hopefully, I will be able to take the last session. So I will resolve it up over there. Till then, just keep practicing this all things that has been done. And I will meet you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So thank you guys for joining, and really sorry. And I appreciate your patience for going forward with us in this manner. So yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Thank you.